the enemy is still cooking me with radiation because I've been waking up. My whole body is like heating up, you know, and because I just feel it like, you know, in my bones when I get really hot and sweaty. I have two ACs on, you know, two air conditioning on, right? There's no need for me to be getting up in the middle of the night, you know, soaking hot and like, you know, sweaty and stuff, right? So that's what radiation feel like, you know, because I've been at this, they've been doing this for a long time to me, you know, because I dare to say no, right? And the main problem with you, because saying no to them, you know, they are used to people saying yes, yes, you know. And when you exercise your right that God given you and you say no, it's like a slap on the face. They get very bent out of shape about it, you know. So it's like you have no right to reject them or say no to them or whatnot, because they are used to it for a long time. People kissing your hiney, you know. I'm not a kissing hiney kind of person, especially not them, you know. And so in the end of the day, I was still gonna say no, right? I still not gonna forgive them what they've done, you know. Why would I forgive somebody who made a lot of money from our suffering? Million, billions, you know, this program still goes on. They're making millions, you know, on a daily basis, you know, these people, you know, because they're milking us from our suffering. Program, it pays a lot of money to all governments to experiment on us, right? Because they leave no trace, so you cannot sue them. You know, they bug your house, you know, they, you know, put tracking devices in your body and they follow you around, and they, you know, even this, you know, bugs in the body or whatnot, or trace, you know, tracking devices or whatnot. Did you know that in Canada or US or all this government, all these countries, doctors are not allowed to remove them? Because if they were to remove them, they will strip them from their license. They will not be able to practice anymore. You know, a lawyer, they're not allowed to fight for us. You know, go to court and fight for us. Otherwise, they'll also strip them from their license. You understand how the game is played? The police are in it. They're all getting paid. So that's why when I said do not forgive them, because I know they're getting paid. You know, all of these people are getting paid from all of these people are getting paid from our suffering. And hey, everybody's allowed to exercise their free will, right? Okay, I'm not gonna tell them what they should be doing or what should not be doing. But one thing and one for sure, I will not forgive them. Okay? So it doesn't matter how much money they give me. You know, they offered me before, you know, many times. You know, I know this is not going away. This is going to be judged in the High Court of Heaven, right? So, whatever, keep your money, okay? You know, I've already made it clear many times. You know, if they give me a blank check, the answer is always going to be no, right? It's a point, okay? The point I'm trying to make here, you have to take a stand to fight for what you believe in, right? They cannot buy you with money. When you understand that you are the money you cannot buy, then you will exercise these freedoms that God given you. If they cannot take it away, you know, it's written in the stars. You know, God created not many laws, and they are broken many laws. So for them to pay you, you know, for these people to pay you, that means you are accepting what they've done to you. You understand? And I've said it many times, you know. I want you to kind of understand why they wanted to give you hush money. You know, hush money is like, you know, you're okay with what they've done, you know, or continue to do, right? Because you're getting paid. So you shut the hell up. Don't talk about it, you know? That's what it is. So when you reject them and reject their money, reject anything they offer you, their plan backfires. You know, I've said it, you know, in a previous video. Basically, their plan is now is going according to plan. You know, it's everything is basically falling apart. You know, so do not make it easy for the enemy to win. I am not. I'm not making it easy for them to win, because there's nothing to be won, you know. But because if there is anything to be won, I think they would have won over all of this. You know what I mean? They would have won. Yeah, they would have won all these attacks, and they would have got them what they wanted. They think they increase the intensity of the attack, they're gonna get me like to surrender, you know. Oh, please don't hurt me, you know. No, the answer is gonna be no, and it's gonna be amplified. Trillions and trillions, no. Okay. So when you understand, guys, that what they're doing, you understand. You know, you need to stand your ground, and you're not budging. You cannot budge. Okay, you cannot budge, because we're not in a losing team. We're in God's team. We win. God wins. God is a winner. You know, some loser, earthly loser is gonna die. You know what I'm saying? God is infinite. It's forever. You know. Tell me one time God lost. You know. But anyhow, it's nice to think, you know, the impossible. It's nice to think about the impossible, okay? And that's what's, you know. Okay, so other thing I want to talk to you guys about is when the enemy come into your premises or your house, your apartment or whatever, they come and announce, they come into you during your sleep because they're bugging your house, they know when you're sleeping. They're attacking your nostrils, because when you're attacking your nostril, also it messes with your DNA, and also you snore. You know, I never used to snore. You know, for 12, 14 years since I've been targeted, that's when I started snoring, because they're attacking my nostril. I'm always had nosebleeds and have issues and whatnot, because they're attacking me in my nostrils, right? So anyhow, and also to know when you're sleeping, because I can hear you snoring. You know, if anybody comes to your premises or your house, your apartment, you know, by law, you're allowed to defend yourself. I don't know if you guys, targeted individual, know that or not. Anybody who's trespassing into your property, you know, even though it's a rental unit, it's your property, because you pay rent, right? You're allowed to defend yourself. You're allowed to break some knees, you know what I mean? And you're allowed to destroy that person, right? It's self-defense. Who gave you a key to come into my apartment, right? Who gave you the permission to come into my apartment, right? So you take this matter into your hands. Do not be afraid if you catch somebody in your apartment who are not invited to come in. Honestly, if I catch somebody, they will now be walking out. I've said it many times to these people. You know? Many times I hear them at night. They're like messing up with my door, making a racket and stuff. Just trying to open it and whatnot. But this door latch and they're always messing with it, trying to get in. Okay, you get in, and you're not walking out. You know, this is your, you are within your rights, guys. I don't want you to be afraid of these people. Some of you, I know, you're scared and stuff because all the doors have been shut in your face, and all these people working for the corrupt institution, corrupt governments. If you're part of the Commonwealth country, you know what I mean, they report to the crown, and the crown set up the rules. The crown is the one who's involved in making money. They make money when you suffer. Because did you know that in England they experiment on refugees, immigrants who come into the country? Did you know that? Yeah, true story. I used to know this is a target individual. Well, I thought she was a target individual, but she's not. Anyhow, she used to work with refugee or asylum seekers, whatnot, and she used to tell me, they're telling her a story, the same thing that happening to us, they're telling her is happening to them. Someone coming from a war-ridden country, and then you are, going to a country because you're seeking a better life and protection and stuff. Then they put you in this program and they experiment on you so they can make money. Did you know that? Yeah, true story, guys. I swear to God, that's what she told me. I swear to God. I told you I would never swear to God if I'm lying, right? I swear to God. She told me that. She told me they experiment on people who come in as a refugee asylum seekers. Did you know that their king, the crown leader, wealth surpasses the queen 3 times? Did you know that? Yeah, I look up stuff, because they wrote about it. His wealth surpasses the queen. Yeah. So we made that money for him. Because he thinks because he's a Commonwealth leader, he thinks he has the right to sign up whoever he wants into this program to torment people and to hurt people. You know what I mean? This money he made, it's not legit money. It's, when God says, okay, in Holy Quran, God says, when you die, when you've been asked, God will ask you about a lot of things. Who's your God? And then who's your prophets? And one of the questions he asks you, where you get your money from? Okay? Why do you think that's in the questions that God is going to ask you? And then the determination where you go, hell or heaven. You know what I'm saying? Because true facts, guys. And look it up, guys. You know what? I don't want to keep saying this. Every time I tell you something, anybody, not just me, anyone who tells you anything online, you look it up. Go and check, fact checked. You know what I mean? Whatever they're telling you, because they could be telling you a lie, could be telling you, whatever. So you need to do your due diligence and go and look what they're telling you. That's what I do. So that's everything I told you is true. But forgiveness is not going to be in the question. It's not going to be something that you're going to achieve from me. Because when I tell you to leave me the hell alone, you should leave me the hell alone. Maybe I'll find it in my heart one day to forgive you, but no. No. You want to press me, you know? You want to strip me from my rights. You want to strip me from my freedoms, right? Because you have a title, what I don't. I have a crown too. I'm royal bloodline as well. I'm a true royal bloodline, honestly. Not Satan seed, you know what I'm saying? The divine blessed seed, you know, that's what I am. Do I throw my title around and think I'm oh God Almighty? No, I don't. I don't think I'm above all, or people need to kiss my hiney. No, I think I'm equal to everybody. Even though I'm from the royal bloodline, and that dragon have crowns. You know that, right? Serpent don't have crowns. Dragons do. They told you in the movies. They told you in a movie, we do have crowns. You know what I'm saying? So, if I am the true crown. So, and I do not say I'm better than you. What does that say for yourself? Like, what does that say? Like, what, So anyhow, it's a game of torment that you keep bestowing on people, and because you have a problem, you're refusing to acknowledge, focusing on other people's problems. My problems, I know what my problem is. My problem doesn't end people in the hospital, okay? My problem does not torment people, abuse people, right? My problem does not, put people in graves. When my mother was killed by them because they wanted to take something out of her DNA, right? Because they want to take something out of her DNA to improve their DNA, Because remember, the serpent comes from a mother's side. And the phoenix or the eagle or whatnot come from the sun. So the one is the moon, which is the female. The moon is the serpent. And the sun is falcon or So that's why when they say in Ra, they're talking about the sun. The sun is in the sky, right? So, but they're implying is the sun is ability to float, like able to take into the sky or whatnot. Okay? So that's what it means. The serpent comes from the mom side, and the falcon, or you see many countries in their flag or their part of the governmental, they have an eagle. So that's a sun. That's associated with the sun. Okay. So that's what you need to do. How that came about. The serpent, and which is the serpent comes from the moon, and falcon comes from the sun. Okay, so you get it. So since they are serpents seed, they will not take a seed from my dad. They will not take my dad's bones and stuff to create something, right? Because it will not work, because it will go against their DNA structure, right? Because of how they're made. But because they are serpents, they go through the mother. So that's why they killed my mom and they killed my aunt, because they're both come. You understand? So I can never be clearer. When you understand, right? Why things are done, why they killed your mom and stuff, because people they'll never get it. When you say they killed your mother, what's the reason? Because to use our DNA to improve theirs, because they have issues. You know what I mean? No, I'm not joking. No, I'm not joking, guys. I'm not trying to put them down or anything. They have DNA problems because they marry too close of, your first cousin, the second, they marry too close into your DNA, and then your kids have problems, So they very closely related. If you look at the genetic, you'll see they have a lot of genetic problems because they're marrying too close into the gene. I'm not joking. I'm not trying to demean them or make them feel like, the DNA messed up. I'm telling you how this happened, how their DNA end up being messed up, right? Because of this. So they take somebody from my mom who have a great DNA, and then they splice it with their DNA because they're serpent seed. And I told you, and then they're improving their DNA structure, your immunity, all of that, inheritance and stuff. But thank God, your inheritance comes through your soul. Otherwise, you're improving a DNA, a body that is gonna die. All our body is gonna die. You're gonna die. I'm gonna die. Everybody's gonna die, right? The body is, but the soul is infinite. So your DNA inheritance comes through the soul. So even though they're improving the DNA, but they're not inheriting certain facts about, God given by God, right? Inheritance comes from the divine. Okay, it comes from the divine, and that's how you inherit it. So taking something to splice with your DNA, or you call DNA editing or whatnot, to create something to resemble, divine mother, like my mom. My mom is like, bloodline is divine, because we're from the kingdom of Cush. So the kingdom of Cush, they know who we are. We are. Why do you think they end up in Egypt before? Because all their knowledge and everything is being stolen. All the pharaohs, the true pharaohs of Egypt, are black. Not like what you see Moses in TV shows, or queen this and queen king that, and they're white. No, mostly, I'll give you something, 90% are black. Okay? So even though they're pretending to be something they're not, it does not really take away of reality thing. This is a fact. I'm not telling you trying to condemn them or whatnot, but they're always been the ones who pretend to be something they're not. Okay? They're always being the one who pretended to be something they're not. Okay? Like the Jews, the Zionist Jews pretend to be an Israelite, or the Jewish bloodline. They are not. They are from Europe. They're European. They are European. They're not the true descendant of Isa or Jesus. The true descendant of Isa or Jesus are the Palestinian. You understand? So that's why they're killing the Palestinian, because they know who they are, and they're trying to take their land. They're trying to abuse them and do stuff like that, and they think God isn't going to do nothing. He's going to stand there, and God is God of time. He won't allow you to do abuse, and then when your clock runs out, destruction is manifest in your life. Okay? These people, they're gonna get it. So anyhow, attacking me during my sleep with radiation, it's not gonna stop me from spreading the truth. And I'm telling you, what I'm saying is 100% fact. So you cannot take that away. You know what I mean? Can you say you are the true Jews? No, you cannot. So come and say that you're a true Jews, and then we'll talk.